Welcome. This is Team Donbot. I'm Donjuancho.
And Brobot.
Bringing you a. This is not really a. It's a ZvZ, but just kind of showing you my build against ZvZ. It's a Lingless ZvZ. This is the third part in the installation of the tutorial, if you want to call it that. And the reason that I play this way is, well, first of all, my APM is really bad. As you can see, I brought it up here. Actually, it's a little better than the other guys, but yeah, it's very bad. I just don't feel comfortable doing that bling stuff. It just seems way too intense for me. So I'd rather just focus on roaches, and so I have a good way of getting you to the roach level and then playing from there. In my first one, I showed you kind of a standard matchup. I think he got mutas, which is actually a little unstandard. The second one, I showed how to deal with an all-in. And this one is just a couple of changes that I've been making lately since I've been getting higher on the ladder scale at Masters right now. And, you know, this isn't a build if you're to use probably as a Grandmaster. Like, I know this build has limitations, but it's really great if you don't feel too confident in your APM. You don't like using lings and banelings, and you just want to get to that roach game. So we're just going to go through that today. And so the opening is going to be a 15 hatchery. I stumbled a little bit. I should have sent out a drone scout at about 10 supply, about halfway done through making that 10th drone. It's what I'd normally scout and just see the pool timing. The only thing I'd do if he tries a 6 pool or 10 pool or anything below like a 12 or 13, I'd cancel the expansion, throw down a spawning pool, then you just have to play from there. But I guess I'd just been playing enough games that day and no one had cheesed me, so I figured, hey, I might as well cheese. One small thing is my Overlord placement. First one always goes to the natural expansion. You really want to see that hatchery timing and then see how many drones he sends there. But also be aware that he can send like 5 drones to that expansion after it comes up, and it'll look like it's kind of saturated, and then he'll just get a bunch of lings. So you gotta still be aware of what he's building. Second Overlord goes right outside his base, so you can see what comes out. Third, I'll usually send outside my base. Fourth, I send to his third, and fifth, I send to my third. And I like to see his third timing, and I want to see if there's anything outside my base, and then finally I want to see when I can take my third, or if there's anything out there. Cool, got it?
Yeah, I think I got it. But, you know, my build gets a hatchery a little bit later, so if you didn't see a hatchery, like, almost done yet, like Azran has here, would you, like, freak out? Would you throw a bunch of spine crawlers up?
I would definitely I'd throw down a spine crawler, and then my Overlord would be able to scout at that point if lings were coming out. And the cool thing is with this map, you can pretty much make Zerglings when you see his Zerglings go out, and they're going to be ready by the time that they get to your base, since he obviously isn't going to have speed at that point. And that's a good point. If you don't see his hatchery, I'm going to build a spine crawler for each minute that I don't see his hatchery, and up to about 5 spine crawlers, and that starts at about 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. And right now I'm just going to drone like crazy. The thing to this build is that I'm getting fully saturated on all my mineral nodes, and I'm not taking my gas till later. And then I'm going to take all 4 of my gas right now. I'm going to take it really quickly here. It does look like I'm building a spine crawler just to be a little bit safe. And in this game, we actually have a pretty similar matchup. We have a pretty similar build. So I take my 4 gases. I usually take it at about 40 food, right around there to look at. A big part of this is you want to have 2 queens to block the natural ramp. That's huge. Like, I've lost so many games not doing that. So just be really careful about that. Re-rally my main to my main minerals because I'm going to need some more drones there. Then I drone up again, and I get about 26, 27 drones at each base, get 2 evo chambers. Then once I have enough gas, I'm going to get my upgrades, and I'm going to get my lair. And then also I get my roach warren. Just going to go 2 dual upgrades with the roaches. And something I've been noticing lately is that a lot of players seem like they only get the missile attack. And I think the reason for that is getting like a good timing attack with a Roach Hydra. Which, another thing I want to talk about later is, seems like there's a big transition. You used to always get Infestor first, but I feel like a lot of players are getting Hydras first now to complement their roaches. So interesting, just very interesting stuff. I'm kind of playing around with the idea of switching that also. So right now the thing, like, people always say, oh, the counter to my opening that I do is to take a quick third, because I don't have gas early enough that I can't pressure with Zergling speed. But in this game, I'm going to show how I deal with it. At least, you know, this works at my level, and I think that most people watching this are probably, you know, they're not Grandmaster, so if they're looking for me for tips for Grandmaster, well, they can tell me, they can give me some hints. So yeah, we're going to be taking our third pretty quickly. The third just kind of depends, at least for me. I know that my macro is going to be better than him since he doesn't have a third yet. Since the beginning of my opening, it's just all macro. I get as many drones as I can and delay my gas so that I can get as many minerals. And then at this point, I'm going to push out with my roaches because I see him take his third. I'm not quite ready to take my third. I take it a little bit late. But right now what I'm doing is I want him to make tons of roaches because I'm going to transition into making more drones. Right now I have a good drone lead, but I really want him for his reaction to be to make tons of roaches, because I can always pull back. And if I pull back, then I can make tons of drones and he's going to be behind. Looks like he's sending out a little run by from some Zerglings here. But I do leave a couple of roaches back because I know that at this level a lot of players like to do that, put pressure on the third. Since he can see it, we can both scout each other's third bases. And right now he is pushing back since he sees that that I'm not putting pressure on and that I'm taking my third. But just having that defensive edge really helps in this matchup because I'm going to have so many more roaches than him since they take so long to walk across the map. And right now he actually has a little bit of a lead, but I just had about 7 roaches pop out. And I think I'm going to have a little bit of a lead. Oh, no, not yet.
You've got the better concave there,
yeah,
for sure, though.
Yeah, definitely a better concave. That's just kind of another thing to go along with being the defender. You can set up a little bit better. He has to attack into you. A little bit careless. I lose 2 roaches right there. I'm just going to set up some spine crawlers right here. Just really want to avoid a run by from some lings. And so he's just kind of dancing around with his roaches right now. Right now I'm thinking, alright, I'm droning up, but at the same time I want to put pressure on. Really bad mistake here. I lose a good amount of roaches when I get them split up. But really want to put on pressure on that third. I see that there's nothing there. So I think, well, I take out his roaches that are coming to attack because I have a good amount. But let's just check out the drones. Pretty close on drones. I decide right now if I take out his third, it's kind of a close trade. This is actually like so close. I take out his third. That puts him so far behind, but I lose about 18 roaches, probably around there. And that really hurts. If you look at the units right now, he has 35 roaches to 4 roaches. And that's what I'm talking about, the defender's advantage. I just got 12 roaches. He has to push all the way across the map. Roaches aren't the fastest thing. So we're just going to see him, you know. Am I going to be able to hold with just this? I actually just rewatched this replay right before casting it, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize how far behind I was, because he almost has double the number of roaches than me. But again, the defender's advantage, I can just pump out roaches. I have queens to hit transfuse, which is huge. Just transfuse those roaches when they get low. It's like getting a free roach. A couple of spine crawlers. He does a really good job though at staying away from the spine crawlers. And honestly, I don't know how I pulled this off. This was just a really close matchup. But you have to realize that if I hold this off, I'm really far ahead because I took his third down. So he's only mining from 2 bases while I'm on a good 3 bases. As you can see by my macro, I should probably have a macro hatch. It would help me out a lot. And I'm able to clean it up. One thing that we did miss is I get my +2 a little bit earlier just because I have such a better economy in the beginning. And then I have burrow. Like I said, I don't have the best micro, so I wish I could do burrow and do it well, but if you're a little bit better at that, you can heal your roaches because they heal so fast underground. And it looks like Azarin just gets his third up, but that entire time I was mining for my third. So I know that I'm pretty far ahead right now. I mean, and my macros is horrible right now. I think it's probably because I lost 2 of my queens, so I'm not able to inject quite as well. And what I was kind of talking about earlier, I guess he didn't do it, but a lot of players are going towards Hydra. I didn't really have the chance to even get infestors just because the way the game played out, how I had to defend right away.
Man, you have a ton of resources right now. Minerals, rather, not so much gas.
Yeah, a little bit of an error here by me. I don't know if he picked off some drones, but I don't have my gas. I just took my gas at my third. So what I'm going to use for those minerals, I'm just going to drop a whole bunch of spines and then get another expansion. As Zerg, minerals, if you don't have gas, aren't very good. Unless you're going Ling style, which if you don't have the upgrades for Lings, they're no good. So he has taken his third right now. I thought I had his fourth right now. I thought I had an earlier fourth than that. But right now we're pretty even. I'm getting a much earlier infestation pit than him, as I already have some infestors out and he's still researching it. But we're just going to see how it played out. One thing I kind of slipped on, I got a little bit late of a hive. He already has his hive and he's getting +3. He's trying to get 3-3 up, which it's pretty good advantage. Yeah, I'm surprised. Pretty late fourth right here. So he's trying to even it up by getting that. But late game composition, I really like the Roach Hydra Infestor. Infestors can just lock down the units so they can't run from you. Hydras do so much DPS, and then Roaches is good all around. And then you have the anti-air too with the Hydras that can kind of delay some sort of Broodlord push. And what I've been liking late game is to even go for Broodlords myself. I just feel like it's a really good way to pull them out of position, and then if they want to overcompensate by building just a ton of Corruptors, I'll let them do that. So we got a little bit of a run by. Luckily my troops are in position, and I'm able to hold on to this fourth right here. And I think this is his really bad mistake right here. He's coming with pure Roach. He has 56 Roaches, and I just have a much better composition.
That angle.
Actually, not the worst. Yeah, actually, not the best angle, but pretty even angle. Getting some good fungals, dropping some Terran balls. Yeah, he has the +3 attack, but that DPS by the Hydras are so good. Plus that little bit of range means that while his Roaches aren't attacking me, I can attack his with Hydras. So again, we come back. He has a couple of infestors. I'm not sure if he's going to do any damage with it. Yeah, little fungal. I think I probably could have stayed there and won, but I just felt like, hey, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to get my fourth up and running. And at that time, not yet. I get some infestors coming down here to his fourth base. I think it's a good play, just bringing some infestors around, just harass, especially if he doesn't have any overseers around. So I'll show you in a little bit, hopefully. So again, he's sticking on pure Roach. Really want to switch to Hydra, but I think that what he's going to transition into Ultra. The only problem with that is that he has the upgrades for Roaches. He has 3-3, but he doesn't have any attack upgrades, melee attack upgrades. So a little weird. And do you know if Roaches are close enough, does that count as a melee attack or does that count as the ranged? Guessing it's still...
I believe it's melee because I think it does not. The Guardian Shield I don't think applies when they do that melee
I
attack.
think the range upgrades still apply though. That'd be interesting.
Oh, as far as the
Yeah,
attack damage, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the range still
yeah,
attacks
because they
in
don't
that
have a
case.
separate thing there.
No,
Mhm.
no, they still do the extra damage. The only thing I'm thinking of is the for that Sentry ability, Guardian
Oh
Shield.
yeah.
I think it does not apply if they do their little melee attack, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I read it somewhere.
that makes sense.
Not just guess.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I do slip up a little bit here. I think I should have gotten my fourth a little bit earlier, and then make sure I got my gas. Probably could have put pressure on his fourth. So he did a decent job of kind of coming back, but his unit composition just not what it should be. I think that you have to really get the upgrades a lot earlier if you want to go ultra. Because I'm just going to be doing so much DPS, as you're going to see right here. So, got a little engagement coming here. I actually try to take my 5th base in that corner just because that's kind of how the map is flowing. But a little bit tough because he has a little bit more mobile of an army than I do with the infestors, or with the zerglings. So right now I'm just trying to reposition my army. Really want to get a good concave on him. I want him to attack into me because he needs more area to attack since he has the zerglings, since he has the melee unit. So I feel like I get a good concave here, hopefully get some good fungals, which not really that good of fungals, but I drop a bunch of Terran balls. At the same time I do that, I drop a bunch of infested Terrans. Almost take out his 4th with that, but it take out some drones. Right now, he actually kind of takes it in that battle right there. Did a little bit better than I did, but I just felt like my macro is still doing a lot better than his is. I delayed this for a long time and just kind of pulling his army out of position. And let's see, right now, yep, still about the same army supply. And I feel like I'm just going to have a big swell of units. Oh, you know, so right now I was just about maxed. So you can't really get Broodlords when you're just about maxed. So once I engaged, I was like, alright, I'm going to build my Corruptors right now. I'm just going to defend. And the thing about Corruptors or Broodlords is that they're really good for pulling the army out of position, like I was saying earlier. And really, I mean, they can just take out your opponent's bases like nothing. Because unless they really scout it and are able to get Corruptors out really quick, then there's not much they can do about it, except maybe infested Terran or something along that line. So right now, just kind of sitting back defensively. Pretty much have all my drones on this last base. I have 2 bases that I'm mining from. He has 2 bases too.
Once you get the Broodlords out, do you count on the roaches to like kind of defend them, or is it more relying on the infestors?
I'm not quite sure why, but I just really felt that he didn't have any anti-air in the area. I just felt like if he's going ultras, he's not going to also have a spire. Like, he just can't do it. So since I have my Broodlords in the left-hand side right here and my army on the right, that once I attack here, he's going to basically have to pull all of his troops over, even though, you know, like, his roaches aren't really going to do anything. So I'm going to be able to take out his 5th base, which I'm a little surprised I even let it get up. And then just have a couple of Broodlords just to kind of supplement my army right now, or my roach army. So I just took out his 4th with my Broodlords, took out his 5th with my with my roaches, and right now, well, I actually did. I thought I was gonna just get destroyed by those ultras, but like I said, they don't have the increased attack, so they didn't do too much extra damage. He does take out my army, but I'm able to reproduce it so quick, and so the game's pretty much over right now. I think he might run into my fourth base. I feel like this game was kind of close because he wasn't. Oh wow, I didn't even see that before. Takes out. Yeah.
You let those broodlords die.
So yeah, this game, I guess it didn't seem as close when I was playing it, but I guess it is kind of close. And he did a good job of denying my expansions. But in the end, I'm on 4 bases and he's on 3. So I just know that even though I have a very slight edge, I still have an edge. And he's not going to be able to take out these broodlords, especially since I take out his 3rd base. Now he's on no bases at all, and you know, all he can do is just kind of try to take him out with his infestors, which, I mean, it's doable. He's going to launch some infested Terrans out here, which kind of, it does take out a good amount, but I just know that I'm just going to re-macro, get a bunch of roaches, and it's going to be game over. So
yeah, it seems pretty much over at this point.
Any questions on this? Was there anything that you think I missed that you'd like to talk about?
No, I don't think so. You are the ZvZ expert, not me.
You play now, so I was just wondering if you have any questions on this style.
Not anything I had.
Okay.
Any questions I would have?
Yeah, ZvZ, it's just so much about expansions. Like, you really can't come back if you're down in expansions unless you're able to put a lot of pressure on.
That's crazy, man. It's like the opposite of PvP. Because PvP, it's like you stay on one base. Like, it's a really common thing to have one base play in PvP, and a lot of times the first guy to expo will lose the game. If you can get an expo and keep it, like, obviously you'll win the game, but like, you usually do not see a whole bunch of expansions in PvP. Sometimes you do, but probably more in ZvZ.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, yeah, that was it. And if anybody has any questions about this or would like to know more or anything like that, leave us a comment on YouTube or on Reddit. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yep.